Hi, it's Dr. Syra. I haven't made one of these videos for a while, so my apologies to my YouTube fans who are waiting for another one, and I haven't done it. It's been kind of a crazy year. 2020 was a crazy year, and 2021 so far has been busy. I wanted to just give you an update on where I'm at, what I'm doing, and just share my thoughts a little bit about boundaries. So I am now living on a mountain by a lake in a little town in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, in the Rocky Mountains, British Columbia, Canada. And I feel like I've changed. I feel like I've really changed. Life is just kind of easier, quieter, more still. There's not a lot of drama, unless I invite it in. There are people from the outside who sometimes bring drama in, but there just isn't a lot of drama in here. And so I've been in a kind of a quiet mode, kind of a learning mode over the last almost 2 years. And so that's why you haven't really heard from me much here, because I've been kind of absorbing and learning and trying to figure out, who I am and what my priorities are. And one of the things that's come up for me is boundaries and how easy it is for someone who's a people pleaser, an empath, to just let people have what they want, have me when they want, have whatever they want from me, and just kind of give into it. Often because it feels just easier to just go along with things than have to once again say no. So, I see this with certain clients where, there's like simple things like, oh, I'll be responding to my email at this time or that time. And they're like, why haven't you responded? Simple example. Or persistent telemarketers or family members who just like, I just want to sit on my balcony and watch the trees and they want to have a little chat or a little gossip. And I'm not in that space right now. And so it's been a constant practice. It's been a constant effort to say no. And one of the ways that we say no is with our energy, right? So when we have an energy of I want to impress you, I want to please you, I want you to like me, then it's like that dog, right? It's like just pet me, love me, love me. It people know that they can kind of walk all over you. When I became more kind of comfortable in myself, grounded in myself, not really looking for people on the outside to give me a pat on the back, rub on the neck kind of thing, like a dog, um, they asked less of me because I wasn't as willing to step over my own needs to give them what they wanted. And it's a fine line, right? It's a fine line when it comes to boundaries because you could just end up being like a monk on the mountain, sitting by yourself in a corner somewhere and just not really engaging with people. But I don't want to live like that either, right? I do like people. I do like being around people. I love that excitement and that juice that happens when different people get together and there's all these connections and these like, it's just sweet. It's just sweet to be around people, but the right people and at the right time. So for someone who struggles with, I wouldn't say struggles with, somebody who lives with depression, chronic depression, I've had to be very particular and very mindful, thoughtful about my own energy level and my own timing. So I need to be able to tell myself, stop when it's time to stop, even if other people are telling me to go. I need to be able to tell myself, go, when I've been kind of stuck in a funk for too long. And I'm the only one who can do that for me. That's what I've learned over these last few years as I've been kind of going up and down the waves of chronic, clinical, medicated depression is I've got to be the one. I can't expect my husband to monitor me. I can't expect my doctor, my therapist, my business coach. Like they can give me their love and their recommendations and their insights, but they can't do it for me. I have to be the one. And in order for me to get the energy that I need to do the things that I need to do just for my day to day, I have to be able to set boundaries. I can't let anybody get whatever they want whenever they want. It's just not okay. One of the examples around this is, I'll give you a simple example, it's around food, right? So different parents approach food in different ways with their kids. I have a very much, as a recovered food addict, I'm very aware of forcing children to eat and not, having children allow themselves to understand their own cues, their body cues of fullness and hunger. So I'm very much about that. I'm also very clear that some of us will eat all day if left to our own devices. And so that some of us need a little bit more discipline and structure when it comes to food. And so I've been kind of playing with that with my own kids and seeing, how much discipline and structure, how much freedom of choice, and kind of, how do we go? Some parents just kind of open the pantry and they're like, eat whenever you want, whatever you want. And if you have kids like my kids, they'll eat ice cream all day long. Like they absolutely will. And gummy worms or Slurpees. Like they'll eat all the sugary stuff because it feels good, right? It feels good to be like high on sugar. So we do need some boundaries with our children when we say, you can have your treat at this time, or you can have, one scoop of ice cream, not six, or whatever it is. So we understand boundaries when it comes to raising younger, humans. So why isn't it okay to then have boundaries with older humans when it comes to how they treat us? If a child were to, I'm teaching this to my daughter, like it's okay to be mad, but it's not okay to be rude, right? So when something happens, she speaks to me rudely, I kind of like coaching her to not do that. Now I'm hoping by the time she becomes a full grown adult, she won't have those behaviors. Maybe she will when she's under stress, we all do, but we need to help each other out by saying this is okay and this is not okay. And that's what really boundaries are, is saying this is okay and this is not okay with me. This is okay with me. This is not okay with me. And our boundaries can evolve. They can change. We can adapt our boundaries given different circumstances and situations. But we have to have boundaries. Just always doing what other people want you to do and saying yes to everything, eventually there's resentment that builds, right? No matter how kind and generous and loving you are, at some point, enough is enough. At some point, you need sleep, or you need a meal, or you need some quiet time, or you just need to do nothing. And if we're people who are always saying yes, you'll also become very, very, very busy very quickly, because there's always going to be someone who wants something for free from you. And if you think you have to give it to everyone all the time, where's the room for the rest? Where's the room for the regeneration? Where's the room to allow yourself space for that creative spark to hit? You don't have it. You don't have it because you're just always running around doing things for people. I feel like this last, 2020, 2021 has really given all of us an opportunity to open our eyes and say, how do we want to be filling our time? Who do we want to be spending our time with? While we're with those people, what do we want to do with them? Do we want to go for a walk? Do we want to, so much of my time before was spent just like sitting side by side watching something on TV. That's how my husband and I would like connect. And during this last year and a half, we realized like, there's lots of other ways of connect. Like we can go for a walk, we can sit on the balcony, we can go for a hike, we can go for a drive, we can just kind of sit quietly in the room together, listening to music, or in the quiet. Like there's other ways to connect besides just watching TV together. And watching TV together isn't really connecting, right? It's just like kind of two zombies in a room. And so that's another one of the things around boundaries, is that they can evolve and change, and they're flexible. And there's so much more to say about this. And we'll be talking about it in Monday Musings. So every Monday in August 2021, we're talking about boundaries in our Monday Musings program, which is a free online community learning event for people who are interested in personal growth and self-development and want the concepts to be culturally informed, because a lot of our white Western psychology is not culturally, it's not applicable to people of all backgrounds. And so we wanted to make it a little bit more inclusive, a little bit more informed of the different places people are coming from. So that's Monday Musings. You can register for that by going to drsyra.ca and looking up courses, and you'll see the registration link there. So you can register and join us. It's free. You don't need your camera on. It's just an opportunity to talk a little bit more about these concepts. And boundaries is the one that we're talking about in August. So it was on my mind. I thought I'd make a little video, let you know what I've been up to, where I'm at, and that's about it. So have a great rest of your day and stay in touch.